Hi guys, it's Tara and welcome back to Crafting with Curly Cues. Today I am participating in a landscaping challenge and I am going to be creating my own patterned paper using the Happy Feast stamp set. So I started with the adorable little Happy Feast stamp set and some Simon Says Stamp Intense black ink, and I have cut a little stitched rectangle with the stitched rectangle dies from some Nina 110 pound Solar White. And I used my T-square to draw a little line kind of right down the middle of that little panel. And now I'm going to start adding my pattern. So I knew I wanted my corn to kind of be the center of the, have all the attention because it's corn. That literally makes no sense. I don't know. But I wanted it to be in the middle because it's the biggest. So I drew the little line to kind of help me keep it lined up correctly. And then I'm going to kind of just do everything freehand, knowing that the corn is straight because I put a line on there. So I used that little itty bitty heart that's in the stamp set to put a little line of hearts underneath. And now I'm going to use the little utensils. There's a adorable little spoon and fork, and of course, because it's Lawn Fawn, everything has little smiley faces, which I think is so stinking cute. And I'm going to line those up here at the top. So I had so much fun creating this card. The landscaping challenge that I participated in was patterned palooza, so it was just like use patterns. And I just thought this was super fun, and it gave me an excuse to bust out my fall stamps, which I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited for fall stamping. Like, it's like my absolute favorite. All the new sets coming out that are like fall and Halloween, I'm just like giddy. So anyway, I erased that pencil line. There was part of one of those little corn cobs that didn't stamp all the way, so I just used a Copic multiliner to go ahead and fill in the part that didn't stamp all the way. And now I'm just going to start my coloring. So I apologize to you guys. I totally spaced zooming in for the corn part of these corn cobs, but I catch myself later and I'm going to zoom in for most of it. So it's just this yellow part that you're kind of a little bit far away. So I'm just using some different yellow tones here, and I am coloring in the corn. I kind of want to make sure that it looks a little bit rounded, but I do know that later in the process I'm going to kind of go over everything with some vintage photo distress ink to make it look just a little bit extra fall time and kind of distressy. I thought that the stark white in the background of the pattern was kind of distracting, so I wanted to kind of tone that down a little bit. So because I know I'm going to kind of be going over this coloring a little bit with some ink, I'm not like super stressed about getting it perfect. I didn't like that cheek color. It was too light. I couldn't see the rosiness of the happy little corns. So I had to get out a brighter pink. So here I catch my mistake and I zoom in so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So sorry about that on the little corns. But corns aren't that hard to color. I keep saying corns and it doesn't sound right. Is corn one of those words that's like it's one corn or like many corns? Corns? I don't know. I have a degree in English literature. You'd think I'd know these things, but I guess I don't often refer to plural corns very often. So it's kind of a new, it's either like corn kernels or corn cobs. Like maybe that's what I should be saying. Corn cobs, not just corns. I don't know. If someone looks that up, you let me know, okay? So for the little husks on the corn cobs, I am using just a couple different greens. I didn't want it to be too bright because I'm going fall here for this card. So I used some more olivey greens and just added a little bit of shadowing. I only used 2 different tones. I'm going super simple on the hearts. I'm just going to fill them in with one color. My R29 there is kind of one of my favorite reds. So I just colored those in really quick. And now I'm going to move on to the pie, which I will tell you, this was challenging. At first I was considering coloring it like cherry pie, like coloring the middle like red. And then I was like, well, it doesn't really look like there's a crust, right? Like it looks like pumpkin pie. And since this is technically, I think, supposed to be like a Thanksgiving set, I was like, I bet it's supposed to be pumpkin pie, right? So then I had to start digging through my Copics and I'm like, what colors do I have that could make pumpkin pie? So I landed on this E19, which is like redwood. So it's like a brown, but it's kind of an orangier brown. And then this YR15. And I think the result was totally pumpkin pie-y. Like it's maybe a little dark. Like this is a pumpkin pie with like extra spices in it, which is okay by me because that's kind of the way that I love my pumpkin pie. But it was kind of fun to like play with the Copics and be like, okay, this is not a color that I color things very often. Like I don't often color things this like burnt orange, you know, brown color, but I ended up really loving it, and I'm half wondering if this is not going to be like a fall time. Like I could picture some leaves for fall colored in that. I could see like even some pumpkins, maybe put some shadowing in that E19 color. I'm the possibilities are just like endless, and it's such a fall-y color. Like I don't know, I just really dig it. So it was super fun to play around with that. I did a lot of tip to tip, excuse me, talking too fast here. A lot of tip to tip to make those two colors blend together. I kind of figured out towards the end that if I did it sooner after I put the darker color down, they blended together better, like while it was still wet. So I kind of started doing like the bottom first and then coming in and doing the top. And that kind of helped me out. And I did get a little bit of bleeding into my little whipped cream dollops there, but those are kind of going to be under the vellum later anyway, so I wasn't super stressed about it, but I didn't actually know that at this time, so, but I still wasn't super stressed about it. It was more important that the pumpkin of the pumpkin pie look pumpkin-y. That was more important to me. So for the little crest, I'm just using a couple shades of some light brown here. I'm kind of adding a little bit of dimension to the top with a little bit of just putting those lines where those little curves would be on the crust just to kind of spruce it up a little bit. But you can see it's just really simple. I'm not doing anything super complicated, but I think those little slices of pie turned out so cute. Don't you guys think they're so cute? It's making me so excited for Thanksgiving and fall. I keep telling my friend, like last year, I don't know what happened. I think it's because we went to Disney World over Thanksgiving that fall just kind of vanished. Like I was just so excited and so busy planning that I just missed like the entire fall season. And so, and it's my favorite. Like I love pumpkin patches and cozy sweaters, and I'm totally cliche like pumpkin spice lattes and all that kind of stuff. And so this year I'm just so excited, and I'm already like planning with my friends and stuff like, okay, we need to put like fall activities on the calendar. Like let's get it planned right now because I want to do it. Like I'm just so excited. So anyway, moving right along. Now that I'm all done coloring, I'm taking that vintage photo distress ink and I'm just very lightly adding some distress ink to the edges. So I know this is sped up super fast and you can't really tell, but I am starting kind of pretty far off the paper and then coming onto it so I don't get any harsh globbies on my paper. I have a piece of craft that's going to go behind my colored panel, and then this is a piece of orange patterned paper from the Let's Polka in the Dark pattern paper pad, and it is perfect for fall. And I just added a little bit of that distressing to it also just so that everything tied in together. And that one is cut with the largest stitched rectangle die, so it's exactly the size of the front of an A2 card base. So now I'm going to prep my sentiment. So this stamp set is fabulous because it's like a nice affordable one because it's kind of small. It's like a 3x4 stamp set, but it has so much good stuff in it. Like I didn't even use the cute little turkey leg that's in there. And all the sentiments are like so punny. So, and they come in little chunks so you can pair them up together however you want depending on which of the images you're using. So I chose the, it may sound corny, but you're sweet as pie. So I thought that was perfect because I have corn and I have pie, and I chose to do that in some gold embossing powder because fall time means gold embossing powder. So another reason I'm super stoked for fall. So I just put that on a vellum strip, and now I'm just going to go ahead and assemble my card. So this card actually is pretty easy. The coloring pattern paper is really what steals the show, and you could totally do that with any stamp set. Like in fact, when I started, I didn't know this was going to be a fall card. I just started knowing that I'm going to create my own pattern, and I just started looking through all my Lawn Fawn stamp sets, and this is just the one that I came across it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to use that punny sentiment. I'm going to make my first fall card of the season. I'm so excited. I'm already starting to prep for my handmade Halloween series, so I did that last year, and I'm definitely going to do it again this year, so I'm already kind of picking out stamp sets and figuring out what I want to do. So if there's anything Halloween-y that you guys specifically want to see in my handmade Halloween series, make sure you let me know because I'm getting ready to start filming those so that I'm not behind when the time comes. So anyway, I put my vellum on there and I adhered it to the back of that little panel so that you don't have to worry about any adhesive showing anywhere through. Then I just used a little bit of some natural twine and tied it around and made a cute little bow. Then I'm just going to adhere that directly onto the card base, and it's got that nice little craft border to set it aside from that pattern paper. I'm just going to add some glaze gel pen to the eyes of all these little corns and silverwares and whatnot just to make them pop. And that's all. This card is done. I love the way you can see the hearts through the vellum, and it's like right in between the two sentiment lines. It just worked out perfectly. So there's a nice close-up of the little patterned coloring, and you get the shiny sentiment there. I think this turned out so much fun, and I'm totally itching to make all the fall cards now. So thank you guys so much for watching. All the supplies are listed below and over at my blog. If you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe and leave me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. And don't forget to check out the description box below to join me on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. Thanks, guys. Bye.